So this is going to be your foot rehab follow along. Only going to need some relatively straightforward equipment. You're going to need some toe separators. If you have those, go ahead and put those on right now. You're going to need a sock, and you're going to need a mini loop band. If you don't have a mini loop band, you can take a long one and you can knot it together in a loop. So go ahead and put these on if you haven't already. We're going to also set up our sock. So we're going to take this sock and turn it into a ball. So what we're going to do is we're just kind of roll it in on itself until you get down to the toe, and then you'll have a little blob like this. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just needs to work, so don't worry about it. All right, so now if your toe separators are on, we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll set this to the side for now, and this one too. We're going to start with a short foot and a roll. So here, remembering our short foot is where we scrunch our foot, our ball of our foot comes toward our heel, and the outside edge of our foot stays on the ground. So we're going to do that, but now with a twist. So you're going to do a short foot where you scrunch. Then, keeping that scrunch, you're going to roll to the outside edge of your feet. Roll to the inside edge of your feet. This is where the upper part of your foot can come off the ground a little bit. And then you're going to come back to center and release. So scrunch, roll to the outside, roll to the inside, and release. Scrunch, roll outside, roll inside, release. You can always go scrunch, keep going. You can go a little faster, go a little slower if you need to, because this is just about getting that control of the feet in multiple different positions. Scrunch, roll out, roll in, release. Let's do 2 more. And if you notice your feet are cramping, you are welcome to take a break and stretch them out. I lied, last one. Good. Yay. So go ahead and stretch out your feet if that was really intense. Now we're going to get our sock and we're going to do some pickups. So you can do this seated or standing. I'm going to do this seated just so you can see me. It's not that weird, awkward thing where I'm a disembodied voice. So you're going to take this guy and you're going to put it right where the ball of your feet meets your toes. And you're going to think about, like, you know, when you were a kid and you wanted to show off your monkey feet and you picked something up with your toes and you moved it around. This is basically what we're trying to do here. So you're going to try and grab this guy with your feet and pick it up. You may not be able to pick it up, especially if you're wearing socks. That's totally fine. The main thing we're trying to do is try to pick it up and like ape that movement. Up. Nice. Do a couple more. And then we'll switch. Now, if at any point I'm going a speed that isn't the speed you want to be going, feel free to slow it down. Listen to your body. Stretch out your feet if things are feeling crampy and cranky. But for now, I'm just a guide. I'm not a rule, I'm a guide. Good, let's do a couple more. And let's do 2 and 1. Lovely. Set this to the side. Next up, we're going to get into some coordination stuff here. Now for this, it might be helpful if you're a little bit closer to your feet. If you don't feel comfortable sitting on the ground, you can stand up and put your foot up on a bench. So you're like this, just so you can get a little bit closer to your foot. So here, thinking about keeping a little bit of that short foot tension just to be nice and active, we're going to go ahead and see if we can keep our big toe down on the ground and pick up just our 4 outside toes. A little bit hard to see here, but we're going to see if that is working. This is hard to do, so if you're like, how in the hell is she doing that? You can take your finger and give that a little bit of pressure so that toe stays down and you can figure out this movement. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and switch to the other side. So trying to keep all 4 big toes down, all 4 little toes down, picking the big toe up. Just the big toe. Give yourself some pressure on that foot if you need it. Checking in with that short foot, trying to keep that foot really active. Let's do 2 more. And we'll switch over to the other side. So we scrunch and let's lift the outside toes. I start with this because I find it a little bit easier. Easy is relative. This exercise is honestly quite hard for me. But if you realize that you started with the big toe instead, totally fine. Good. Let's do 2 more. Oops. And then let's do the big toe. This is the one, I think I need some pressure. I don't know if you do. Picking that toe up. And then you can always experiment with, after you give it a pressure a couple of times, then see if you have the coordination in your foot. This is hard. This is easier said than done. Like, when was the last time you tried to move your big toe independently? Probably never. Let's do 2 more. Good. Yay. So if your foot is barking at you, you can feel free to stretch it out a little bit. And then we're going to get into our last thingamajig. So this is where we're going to use our resistance band. And we're going to loop this. If you have like a heavy chair or a table leg or something like that, you can use that. I have a little gizmo right here that I'm actually probably going to use. Yeah, it should be. Actually, no, I'm going to use my stool here. I will get this set up. You know, realism, it's helpful. So, stool thingy. I'm going to loop this underneath and absolutely fail at coordination because it's that kind of day. All right, so I like to hold this so I kind of can, because otherwise it might move. Most people don't have super heavy furniture, so just hold this like that. Then you're going to get a little bit of tension on the band, but not a crazy amount. And you're going to think about stamping your heel, pivoting your foot from your ankle. So not rolling like this from the hip. Knee stays where it is. Ankle and your foot move you to the outside. This is easier said than done, quite frankly. So you might notice that you feel, your ankle working a lot. If that's the case, welcome to the club. Awesome. Now we're going to go ahead and switch. Same foot, but the other way. So you're going to face the other direction. It's now going to go to the ball of the foot, and you're going to pivot to the inside. Most people will usually have one direction that feels a little bit harder than the other. For me, this is my harder direction. And try not to hurry through this. So if you notice that some parts really want to stick, try and slow down and hang out there. Because here, I want to shoot out of this really fast, but if you hold, you actually will build some more strength where it needs to be built. So try and slow down and really pay attention to what you're doing. Let's do one more, and we'll switch other side. So this one, you can change over to the other side, or you can just start with the going in first. Doesn't matter. I err on the side of making it easy, so I'm not going to do anything I don't have to do. Two more. And then we'll do the other way. Oops. Two more. All right, so there you have it. That is your foot rehab follow along. Feel free to stretch your foot out a little bit now that you have worked your muscles. That really, really helps with recovery. See you soon.